and welcome back to Beyond the Monsters. Today I have Melissa here with me,
Hi, guys.
all the way from Hawaii.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, Melissa, we can dive right in wherever you want to start.
Whew. Okay. There's so much to say. I could literally do probably a 5-part series.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Um,
I'm sure.
Okay, I'm gonna start from when the accident occurred, back in February 23rd of 2024. Alex was hit by a Grubhub driver that was not paying attention on his motorcycle, and the day I got the call, his brother called me. I was literally on my way. I was parking in Home Depot to go pick up some stuff for the property management company that I work for. And his brother called me and told me that he was in a motorcycle accident, that he broke 3 vertebrae in his neck, fractured his nose, fractured his hand, dislocated his thumb, fractured a rib, and he was in ICU in Tampa. And that he had to have surgery the next morning. And
not to interrupt, but just so the audience knows, he is your ex-boyfriend, ex-husband, right?
we were never married. We were together a little over 8 years.
Okay.
But it's my youngest daughter's father.
Your daughter's father.
My
Okay.
14-year-old's father,
Okay.
yeah. So I got the phone call. I was absolutely devastated. All I could do was pray. I still had to go in Home Depot while I'm sobbing. Everybody thinks somebody died probably while I'm in the aisle sobbing and calling everybody I can to let them know, that something happened to Alex. And then on my way home, I saw like 5 rainbows. It was so beautiful. It was almost like the universe was giving me a sign that he was going to make it, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how I was going to tell my daughter. So I called Denise. I called his girlfriend, and I told her, how sorry I was. I just heard what happened. If she needed anything, I would be there for her, and then she has 2 daughters that are around the same age as my daughter. And of course, I was thinking about them, like, have you told the girls, And she proceeded to tell me exactly what happened. She said that he came to see her at the salon that she worked at for lunch. And then he left on his motorcycle and she was closing up. She left about 5 minutes after him, and she pulled up on the scene, and the traffic was really bad, and she saw a motorcycle was down. And she said that as she got closer, she could see it was him, and she got out and, saw him laying there, and we literally cried together, right. And I told her, I was like, if you need anything, I was like, I know you don't know me that well, but if you need anything, please, I'm here for you. Please know I'm here for you,
Yeah. So would your daughter go and spend time with them, like on
Yeah.
weekends and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
So before we moved to Hawaii, he was getting her pretty much like 2 weeks out of the month.
Okay.
And then anytime he was home, because he would deploy a lot, he was a contractor for the military.
Okay.
So anytime he was home, he would always, make time for Allie.
So he was a very present dad.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, very much so. And so the next morning, well, we both decided that we weren't, because she hadn't told her girls yet. So we both decided that instead of hitting him with a double whammy in case he didn't make it out of surgery, that we would wait until he made it out of surgery, because we didn't know if he was going to survive it.
Right.
And so we decided we were going to wait. And the next morning, his mom calls me frantic and says that the doctors told her that if he made it out of the hospital alive, he would be quadriplegic for life. And she was like, Melissa, you need to get Allie here now. You need to get Allie here now. We don't know if he's going to make it. So, of course, I get on the phone. I'm on the computer trying to find a way for us to get there,
Yeah.
And so our flight was delayed by like a day. And we finally get there. It's super early on a Monday, and we get there, and the whole time I'm just thinking, like, how is Allie gonna react?
Yeah.
What is, because that man hung the moon for
How
my
old was
daughter.
she when this
She
happened?
was she was 12 at the
Oh,
time of his accident. Um, and she was absolutely devastated. Um, and the whole time I'm just thinking, like, how is she going to react to this? I need to make sure I'm there for her. You know,
yeah.
like, I don't know what her first reaction is when she first sees her dad,
Of course.
Um, so we get there and he's in ICU. So we go up the elevator and we come out, and Allie's half brother Gio and brother Devin, her uncle Devin and uncle Brandon are there, and his mom, and Mike, his mom's husband. He's just everybody's giving each other a hug and telling, and
Is he conscious at this point?
um I don't know. I think he was in a medically
Induced
induced
coma?
coma
Yeah. Okay.
um after his surgery. I think I'm not 100% sure because I never got to go in
Oh,
um with my daughter, because she so when we get there, they're all hugging us and everything, and his mom is like, "Melissa, can I talk to you for a second?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I'm thinking she's going to tell me something about his surgery or, his progress or
right.
whatever. And so we go and we sit down, and she's like, "You know, when you told us that you were going to move to St. Augustine, Florida, we were so happy. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you moved to Hawaii, and we were so upset with you. And Alex was really upset. And because of that, Denise doesn't want you in the room."
That is not the time for
And
that.
I'm like, it just hit me like a freight train. I was not expecting this. Like, my mindset was, how is my daughter going to react? I need to be here for her.
Right.
I need to be here for Gio. I need to be here for the family, and just trying to be strong. And then to get hit with that, like, you can't even go in the room. He doesn't want you there, which was really odd to me because, like, I had sent him pictures of Oahu because he
You
used to live out there before I met him.
okay? Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, we would talk and stuff, and
Not to
nothing ever came
mention,
up.
he was probably never conscious enough to say that he wouldn't want you guys there. So,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? That
Right.
definitely had to have come from
Well,
them.
it
Just
had nothing to do with Aliana at all. It was all me. And it went from us crying together on the phone on that Friday to that Monday, her finding out that I was coming, and spun this scenario so that I couldn't go in the room. She didn't want me anywhere near him, bottom line.
mm-hmm.
And so it hurt, but I respected, because they had been together since the end of 2018, and they were long distance. They were in a long distance relationship for years. He actually didn't move down there until 2023. So he was living in North Carolina and deploying as a contractor for the military, and he would be gone 2 to 3 months at a time,
Right.
sometimes longer. During
Right.
COVID, I think he was gone like 6 or 8 months because he got stuck there.
Yeah.
So he was they hardly went around one another because they were long distance.
Yeah.
He let her move into his house that he paid for in 2019 because she was living with her mom at the time. Crazy story is, his ex stepdad, when he was growing up with his two younger brothers, like, it's their dad, was actually married to this woman.
Oh.
Jerry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Okay.
so when they split up, and I honestly, and this is pure, like, just skeptics, but I think she got with him to try to get under her ex-husband's skin. I'm
Mm-hmm.
dating your ex-stepson,
Right. Right.
So the whole premise of their relationship was a vindictive thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so here we go. We're back at the hospital. It's a day before my birthday. This stuff happened literally 4 days before my birthday. And I'm told I can't go in, right? And I'm like, okay. And I was really upset. And anytime I'd cry, I'd run to the bathroom and,
Yeah.
fall to the floor
Right.
crying
Right.
and praying. And so Thursday rolls around and I'm in the lobby every morning while Allie's visiting her dad in the room that I can't go into. And it's right after my birthday, so all my old memories pop up of, like
Past years.
when I was 30 and on my birthday before we moved to North Carolina, we lived in Destin, Florida. That's where I met him. And one of my birthday pictures of my best friend and I popped up. So it was a night that Alex got really hammered and lost his clothes.
Oh.
And then we couldn't find him for a couple of hours, and then he popped up. And he happened to have a little accident. And so whenever those photos pop up, I always, crack a joke or whatever,
Right.
And I had sent it to my friend Kim that was in Florida in Destin. And this was when Mention first came out, I guess. Like how you can mention someone on your iPhone.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it had just come out around then.
Okay.
And so when I typed in Alex's name, I accidentally mentioned him and I didn't know. And it sent to his phone. Well, his girlfriend had his phone. Like she immediately saw it. And this was also when you could first start erasing, like deleting messages. And I know she was in his phone because as soon as I sent it and I realized that his name popped up, I was like, oh my God, what just happened? I was freaking out, because I was like, holy crap, it just sent to his phone,
Right.
I was like, oh my God. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for this to send, this was meant for my friend Kim. And, I'm so sorry. And I was like, well, maybe this is going to give us an opportunity to speak because, it went from us crying together on the phone to she wouldn't even speak a word to me. Like she'd cut her eyes. Like it went from a complete 180 once I got there.
Yeah.
And so.
Was she nice to your daughter?
She was.
And did they have a kid together?
They
or
do
no?
not.
No children. Okay.
No. Mm-mm. She has a son that's around the same age as my oldest daughter, who is 22, and then her two daughters from the previous marriage.
Okay.
And they're around 12 and 14.
Okay.
Yeah. So we, I'm telling her I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to text you this, and she knows I'm in the lobby because they were taking turns sleeping there overnight, and that was her night. So she left and got that text on that accidental text, and she calls me from his phone, and she's like, "Who is this?" And I'm like, "You know who this is. You just called me from Alex's phone." Like, and I was like, "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to send the text." And she was like,
Like an honest mistake.
she was like, "What are you doing here? You shouldn't be here." And I was like, "What do you mean? I'm here for my daughter." And at that point, I already felt what was about to happen. So I started going towards the elevator to go downstairs because I knew it was going to get ugly. I just felt it.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Your daughter doesn't need you to be here for her, bitch." And I lost it in the elevator. And I was like, "Excuse me?" Like all the shockwave of not being able to go in there,
Right.
not being able to
All
tell
that
him
built
goodbye,
up. Yeah.
just in case he didn't make it. We didn't know at that
Right.
point. He was
Right.
still, in critical condition.
Yeah.
And I just lost it. I was like, "You know what, bitch? Like, I'm tired of you. This is ridiculous. This is absurd. Like, you should not be like this right now."
Right.
At a time when he's laying here
Like,
fighting for his
grow up.
life. Right.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know if we're going to get another day with him. I deserve to be able to speak my piece.
Of course you do.
So, once I start going off on her, she was like, "Be ready when I get there because I'm going to whoop your ass," and hangs up. And I'm like, oh my God, did this really just happen? Did
That's how
this
she
really
wants
just
to
happen?
act with
Did
all
this
this.
really just
Yeah,
happen?
yeah.
And I'm freaking out. So I call Kim, of course, the girl sent the message to originally.
Right.
And I'm telling her all this. And she's like, Melissa, calm down. You need to talk to Vivian, who is his mom. And so I try to call her and she tells me she's upstairs in a procedure with Alex. So I'm like, okay, I hang up. And
Were you cool with his parents like before that?
so he never knew his dad. He has a stepdad that's been in his life for over a decade now. Mike, he's an amazing man. Vivi and I, we've had our ups and downs. She's a good woman, but she has her she's very judgmental, and
Yeah.
she's the type of person that if you tick her off, she will write you off and never
Okay.
speak to you again. Yeah.
So do you think you were kind of at that point with
Um,
her because you moved?
we've been hot and cold, and I didn't realize that she was that upset with me because no one's ever talked to me about
Right, right.
um, until afterwards. I actually got to talk to Mike and explain, what happened, my situation, and the reason why I did move.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and I think once they heard my story and my reasoning, they understood more. But right now, his mom is a wreck after everything that's happened. What this woman's done. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So, after that,
Yeah,
obviously,
so his mom was doing a procedure or something with
yeah,
him, right?
she was in a procedure with him. They were probably cleaning his trach or something because he
Okay.
was on a trachea and a ventilator
Okay.
at that point. Um, and so I tried to call her. She couldn't talk to me at the moment. And then I hang up from her and I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I cannot believe this is happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like this is the last thing we
And you're
need right
basically
now.
there alone,
Right.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Flew 13 hours. And I told her on that phone call, I was like, there was no way I was going to let my daughter fly 13 hours by herself. My 12-year-old daughter fly
Right.
13 hours by herself, not knowing if her dad was going to make it or not.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Right.
And yeah, it was, I know now from everything, like the reasoning why she didn't want me around him. I feel like she was very insecure and didn't want me around,
Yeah.
unfortunately. And then,
Did she ever come back up like she said?
no, because I waited. Like, so I went upstairs after that, and his mom and her best friend like just started attacking me. What are you doing texting Alex? Denise told me you text Alex and started shit. Blah, blah, why are you texting his phone? Blah, blah, blah. And I was trying to explain this is an accident and this is all happening in front of my daughter. Like, please let me explain. Can we go somewhere so I can speak with you? And she was just out of it. Her nerves are shot. Her first son is lying there fighting for his life.
Right.
And so I understand her being upset and every little thing setting her off, because her anxiety was through the roof. Like, she didn't know if she was going to lose her son.
Yeah.
So I understand. And so I went downstairs. I took Allie. I was like, I'm not, Allie's staying, but I'm going to go downstairs and let Allie know what the game plan is because I'm going to
Your
leave.
daughter has to be a mess at this point too because her dad's there.
Yep.
And just laying there.
Yep.
And he's hurt. And then everybody's fighting.
Yeah.
And coming at her mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For no reason. Just because I cared, honestly. So after that happens, I removed myself. We were staying with his mom and stepdad at the time. Okay. And I ended up getting a hotel just to let things cool off. And that morning, like, Allie had asked me if she could stay the night over at her dad's place with the girls and dogs and stuff.
Okay.
And I was like, we'll see, and then all that stuff happened. And I was like, Allie, let's wait until in the morning. Let's let everything cool off. Everybody's, on edge.
Right.
I was like, I'm going to wait and I'll text in the morning and see and fill things out. I was still going to let her stay with this woman and her 2 kids.
Right.
Because that's what she wanted
Tough
to do.
Position, yeah.
That's what she wanted to do, So even though I couldn't stand this woman, I was going to let my daughter go stay there because that's what she needed at
She
the time.
wanted, yeah.
Right. So I leave this long, heartfelt message, saying the reason why I moved and what the factors were, and the reason I chose to move to Hawaii was because Alex had just took a job contracting overseas where he was gone all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I knew like he wasn't going to be around to get Allie anyway.
Right.
So why not follow a love that I've been chasing for over 5 years,
Mm-hmm. Right.
that I've put on the back burner because my girls have always come first.
Right.
And I explained, I didn't get mad when he bought that house in Tampa and didn't tell me. I didn't get mad when he took that job that would take away from his parenting time.
Right.
I understood, and I did what I could to make it work.
Yeah.
Because life happens. I get it.
Sure.
And so this woman called me, cussing me out, calling me all kinds of names. I was a dirty whore that effed everything from Pensacola to Panama City. And I had put her on speaker. So my daughter was in the hotel room and could hear this stuff. I had to take her off speaker. I thought she was going to be okay with letting Allie come stay the night. That was my premise.
Right.
And this woman just starts going off on me and saying Alex never loved me and I got pregnant on purpose to try to trap him and all this crazy stuff. And I just started laughing at her.
At this time.
Yes.
Gosh.
Yes. And she was like, and that house, you don't need to worry about that house. Alex bought that house for me. Alex bought me a house. And I'm thinking in my head, your name isn't on the house. Alex bought that house for him.
Right.
Otherwise, your name would be on it too, know?
Exactly.
And so I remember I was like, you know what? I'm not going to let you drag me down to your ugly. I was like, you're as ugly on the inside as you are on the out. And I was like, I'm not going to let you drag me down to your level. But I told her, I was like, but I will tell you this, if you ever want to cash in on that threat you made yesterday, just tell me the time and place and I'll be there. Yeah, I was that mad.
Did she respond?
Oh, she was like, I'm not afraid of you. And I was like, you should be. You should be.
Right.
But I try to keep the peace, but.
Yeah, but everybody has a breaking point.
Yeah.
And she was pushing for
sure.
She
pushed it. She definitely pushed it. So after that, of course, Allie did not go there. Because at that point, I was like, I don't want my daughter around this woman. For somebody to do this at this time.
Right.
This is not a good person. I don't want my kid around her. And so.
And you're allowed to feel that way.
Yeah.
Her actions are showing you that.
So, after that conversation, Allie did not go to her place. I did not want that woman anywhere near my child after that, if not need be.
Justified, for sure.
And then I started talking to her ex-husband and his new wife. And they started telling me everything that she's put them through, through court and everything with the girls. Yeah, she's manipulated a lot of situations. And then I started digging a little bit further and I found some stuff that she did. She had an affair with a married man at her old job and started a bunch of drama when he went back to his wife. Tried to get a bunch of people fired. Yeah.
So she definitely has a pattern and a history.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, and it's all public record. Yeah.
Can't deny it.
You can't deny it. So, after that, I stayed another week, and of course, I just kind of hung out with friends that were close and let Allie visit with her dad and stuff. And then we ended up leaving and going back home.
Was he getting better?
So after that, we went for a couple of months not hearing from him. And I later found out that his son, who is an adult. He's 22, Gio. He was the next of kin originally after his accident. And, he was hit by a Grubhub driver.
Yeah.
So they went, Gio and his mom and Allie, they went to Miami to talk to an injury attorney. And the attorney told them that they could only get medical expenses and the property damage for the vehicle, his motorcycle. But other than that, insurance wouldn't cover anything because the state of Florida does not require bodily injury insurance.
Yeah.
So,
no fault.
Yep. And it's a no fault state.
Mm-hmm.
So, when Gio went back and told this woman this, she did not like what she heard. She thought she had a multi-million-dollar lawsuit, because he got hit by a Grubhub driver.
Mm-hmm.
So that started taking over. And
usually does, sadly.
Yeah. And so we had also, his two younger brothers started a GoFundMe for him. And we raised almost $30,000 in GoFundMe money. And once it got up to that amount, she was asking the brothers for them to transfer it to her, which Alex was still in the hospital at the time. He was in rehab, and he was about, he got transferred to one rehab to get weaned off the trachea and ventilator so that he could move to Tallahassee to a spinal rehab and start spinal rehabilitation. Yeah. And while he
As you know, that probably barely made a dent
Mm-hmm.
in his medical bills. He was in there so long.
Yeah. His medical bills are over $600,000.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's just the hospital stay where he had to have surgery and all that. Yeah.
So now she wants the GoFundMe money.
She wanted the GoFundMe money, and one of the brothers, he did not feel comfortable giving it to her because he told her it's in our name. If you use it for anything other than medical expenses, we can get in trouble for fraud.
Right. Right.
So they felt uneasy about giving it to her. And so what she did was, I guess she told one of her friends, and her friends started an angel link shortly after. I think it raised like $900. And then about a week later, we found out that she married him in secret at the rehab facility, and then took his family off the visitors list and told his family that he needed a break from visitors.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. She became his full-time caregiver. She quit her job as a hairstylist and became his full-time caregiver. Would not let us know.
Was he talking or anything at this point?
At this point, he started to talk again. But he was really weak, and he was super influenced because...
I was going to say, that's crazy, though, that she was even able to marry him if he wasn't fully with it.
It shouldn't have happened.
Probably pain meds, everything he was still on, I would assume.
Yeah, for sure. He was definitely on pain meds. Yeah.
Come for your water.
Yeah. We never knew. The first few months, the first 3 months, we didn't really know much about what was going on with him. She wouldn't let us know. She wouldn't tell us.
His parents, too?
Right. She wouldn't let anyone know. She, in her mind, what she painted to him was that his family abandoned him because they didn't like her. Yeah.
Wow.
At a time when he needed his family the most.
Right.
This was being fed into his brain.
What was his mom's response to all this?
She was really upset, and she thought that he made a choice to be with her because she had convinced him to go into a different rehab facility that was like a 1 or 2 star facility, when his mom found one that was closer to her that was like a 4-star facility, so he would have gotten better care. But the girlfriend wanted
the money.
Well, she wanted him closer to her so that she could be there feeding feeding him. And so he ended up going there. Well, when that happened, his mom got really upset, because she's like, you'll have better care here,
Right.
and he was going with whatever she said because he was ahead, like no motion in his shoulders down. So this person that you supposedly love, you've been with for several years, even if it was long distance, is saying, hey, I'm here for you, so you're going to trust that person
Right.
to an extent, and yeah, she definitely pulled wool over the eyes because what she's done, he would have never agreed to. So
So now none of you can see him to even truly know how he's doing?
he passed away in October.
Oh.
So she and I kind of would talk back and forth, and she had told me at one point and made me swear not to tell his family because she said he didn't want his family to know anything about his medical. And she had told me that he was going to have surgery. She didn't tell me on what, but she said he had to go back into the hospital and he was going to have surgery the next day. And I'm like, okay. And then we have this long conversation, and I'm thinking, okay, everything's going to be good. Aliana's about to go in July to go visit for 6 weeks for the summer. Things are okay. Well, she starts texting me, who did you tell about Alex? And I was like, what? What are you talking about? And she was like, you're the only person I told. And Gio knows. He just called me. So how did he find out? And I was like, I definitely didn't say anything. I promised you I wouldn't.
Right.
Even though I felt like they should know.
Of course.
Like it's his family. And so she went off on me and twisted it again and made this big commotion over something that I never did. And so it kind of started from there. And then she wouldn't tell me anything after that. And then Allie went to go visit. And
so this is in July?
This was in July. Allie went to go visit for 6 weeks. And while she was there, this woman allowed her to get acrylic nails and didn't ask me. She was going to allow her third piercing and didn't ask me. Like third ear piercing, which Allie had asked several, for months. And I was like, oh, let's see. I wanted to talk to her dad, and then all this stuff happened,
right.
And that kind of upset me a little bit because I'm like, this is acrylic nails. I'm going to have to pay for that later,
right.
I'm going to have to pay to take them off or for the upkeep.
Right.
And then, so that's an extra expense that I wasn't communicated to.
Right.
And then the ear piercing, that's irreversible. That's something that is affecting my child's body. So of course,
right,
I should have been consulted about this before a decision was made.
100%.
And so I sent a text and I was like, this is not cool. I would really appreciate some communication. And then she started again. And I ended up, I had made arrangements for her grandma and grandpa to come get her while she was there so she could spend time with them. And I guess they got into an altercation with Denise and Alex. I don't know exactly all the details, but Allie called me crying saying that her grandma wasn't going to come get her now.
Aww.
And I'm like, oh no, what is going on? What happened? And so I called her and I was like, what's going on? They were supposed to get you today. What happened? And she was like, I guess they got into an argument and then grandma got mad and told me that she wasn't coming. And she was devastated.
I'm sure.
Yeah. And so while all this was happening, I find out once Allie comes back that Denise was showing her text messages of the group chats that the family was in at the hospital and basically trying to get Allie against them like she had done with Alex.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so Allie was upset. You know, here's a 12-year-old girl being brainwashed by a woman that is trying to take everything from her dad. And at the time, she's pretending she loves her. You know, she'll do anything for her, this,
Mm-hmm.
that, and the other, you know. And during this time, like I had told Alex when I moved that I would pay for half of the airfare, you know,
Mm-hmm.
just out of fairness. And they ended up withholding some of my child support for some of the airfare. And over half, like pretty much the whole amount. They didn't pay me for any of June.
Wow.
And didn't pay me for half of July. And yeah. And when I asked her about it, she was like, "Oh, it's because she's here with us." And I was like, "That doesn't matter about
She
child
doesn't get to make
support."
that decision.
Right.
Yeah.
And then here she is, this woman that her ex-husband has the children 50% of the time and had them for close to 4 months while she was rehabbing with Alex. He still had to pay, even though he had the girls the full entire time.
Yeah.
Which
It's
is
like unless you go to court and change
it's a
that,
double
that's
standard.
yeah.
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 So she was okay with taking money from her
Mm-hmm.
ex-husband for kids when she didn't even have them for months.
Mm-hmm.
But she's going to take away my child support knowing that Allie's about to start school. I need school supplies. I need all this stuff.
Right.
You know, living in an expensive state. And Allie also she needs braces. And so I started asking, you know, about the insurance and stuff like that to find an ortho for Allie. And she was like, "Oh, well, maybe you should reevaluate that when y'all move to Florida because of the astronomical prices in Hawaii." And I'm like, "My daughter needs braces. Like her tooth is turned 180."
And it's
Like,
really none of her
right,
business what you're doing.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she just took control over everything. And Alex and I, we never went to court. We never, like, we were never married. We never
Right.
wanted to marry
Okay.
again after our first marriages.
Mm-hmm.
We said we didn't need a piece of paper to prove our love.
Right.
You know, it wasn't about that. It was
Right.
just about us being together,
Mm-hmm.
loving each other. And he never wanted to get married again. Neither one of us. Like, and of course I bit the bullet, but he never wanted to get married again. It was pretty solid. Like, you could
Mm-hmm.
ask all of his best friends.
Right.
He never wanted to get married again. So he literally, like, told Allie that he thought his family abandoned him
Oh.
because of what was
That's
being
what
fed.
she made him believe.
Yeah.
Well, he in the hospital and stuff, he was probably so out of it, he
He was
doesn't
out of it.
remember
He
any of
told
that.
Allie that he doesn't remember anything that happened at the hospital. That's what he
Mm-hmm.
told her.
Yeah.
When she came back, she told me all this. Like, she literally turned the radio down. When I first got her from the airport, I just wanted to spend time with her. I wanted to go ride, you know, like the road that's by the ocean and get
Mm-hmm.
out and go
Yeah.
explore a little bit, go on a little hike and adventure, you know, just spend
Right.
time with her because that was the longest I'd been without her,
Yeah.
her whole entire life, you
Aw.
know. So, but she turned the music down and she started telling me everything that this woman told her. And I was like, "Allie, that's not true, baby." I was like, "None of that is true." And I was so upset that this woman would try
To brainwash her
to
too.
brainwash my 12-year-old child against her family
Mm-hmm.
when her dad was still fighting for his life, you know?
Yeah.
And so I got really upset.
And they did really get married?
So, yeah, it was like I found out that they got a partial marriage license. She used whatever they use for jail, you know, to get,
Yeah.
to get inmates to marry.
Yeah.
She used that same form, that same method
Okay.
to marry him. And I don't know who the notary was, but she shouldn't be able to be practice.
Right. Like, did she make sure he was in the right state of mind?
Yeah, that I don't know. And at that time, because it was less than a month after his accident, he got in his accident on February 23rd. They they were ordained in the rehab center on the 22nd of March. And I didn't find out until August that she actually got a durable power of attorney the same day she married him that gave her all these superpowers to change life insurance beneficiaries, to add her name to the property, to open up safety deposit boxes, to drill holes through safety deposit boxes and give her access to all his digital albums and everything. Like literally, it gave her all these superpowers to do all these things. Okay. And it was almost like she had planned it. She had planned it. And she didn't tell anybody about the marriage until after. She didn't tell anybody about the durable power of attorney. So when I had Aliana, I was still technically married to someone else. We had been separated for 3 years, but I was separated. And since I was married, I wasn't able to put Alex on the birth certificate because the state of Florida, they go by legal father, which would have been the man I was married to.
Okay.
So Alex was never on Allie's birth certificate. And so after they got married, his mom called me and was like, Melissa, you need to get his name on the birth certificate stat, because if something happens, Allie will qualify for benefits, this, that, and the other.
Right.
And so I tried to call him, to let him know what I was doing, because like when we split up, everything was amicable.
Yeah.
Like we were able to, like visitation, we worked out visitation, we worked out child support, and we never had issues from 2018 until she took over. Never had an issue. Not once. Everything was fine.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden she walks in and it's nothing but drama. Yeah. Yeah. And she's not paying, child support.
Right.
And then so I go and I file for paternity.
Okay.
And in Oahu. And so our court hearing is August 30th, okay, of 2024. And we go in and I'm thinking, he's going to be on the Zoom call. Well, it's not him, it's her. And that's how I found out about the durable power of attorney, because she used it to appear for him. And she said that he couldn't speak. He was in the hospital and he couldn't speak. So she was appearing for him. And instead of acknowledging paternity, which she very well could have done,
right,
she requested paternity testing. And then she never took him to his appointment. Here he is, quadriplegic. She's his full-time caregiver. He never made it to his paternity test appointment.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And then 2 weeks after that, he is suffering from hemorrhaging strokes. We didn't find this out until after he passed. And we started digging, trying to get medical records and stuff.
So nobody even got a chance to say goodbye?
Nobody got a chance to say goodbye. So we found out after he passed that he, in September, he went into the hospital for headaches and confusion. And he ended up staying from September 10th until the 19th. Well, September 16th, he started suffering multiple hemorrhaging strokes. September 17th, the attorney that wrote the durable power of attorney and witnessed, him and his wife witnessed these documents, and the notary that works with them signed, notarized, and proxied Alex's signature. Same attorney that did that DPOA to give her all these superpowers filed a quit deed. And she signed as durable power of attorney. It added her name to his house. A day after he started suffering strokes, hemorrhaging strokes. Okay? We were never called. We were never told. He was going through all this and we were never told. And I was begging her.
Without his whole family.
I was begging her like September 1st, like is Alex okay? Can you let me know? And she was like, as his durable power of attorney, I'm not gonna I'm not I'm not going. What did she say? She was like, I'm not going to break his HIPAA.
Okay.
Right. Instead of, I was like, just give me a yes or no answer.
Yeah.
Is he okay?
Right.
Like you literally just
Like
said in
he wouldn't
court that
want
he
his
couldn't speak.
parents to know, or
And
his daughter.
what
Oh,
was so
God.
crazy is 2 weeks prior to that, she I was asking about insurance because my husband had insurance, and if it was going to be cheaper, I was just going to switch our daughter to
To
my
add to him.
husband's insurance. So I was asking her, what are the premiums what are the monthly installments for Alex on Allie?
Right.
And she wouldn't tell me. She wouldn't tell me. And I was like, well, I'm sure, Alex knows, or you can call HR. They would be able to tell you.
Right.
And just out of nowhere, she was like, do you know how Christopher Reeves died? And I'm like, what? Why are you asking me this? Is Alex okay? Is Alex okay? For like 30 minutes. Is he okay? The day or two before that, he was not speaking in the hospital, right? That's why he couldn't come to the paternity hearing.
Right.
And is he okay? She wouldn't let me know. She would not tell me. And then she was like, Alex is okay for now, but we never know what might happen. And she was like, I'm not going to worry him about insurance right now. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, and so I'm thinking, is he okay? I'm worried.
Right.
And she did that on, like, totally intentional. It was so on purpose.
Sounds like, yes.
Yeah. And then she kept asking me for Allie's birth certificate. And I'm like, what do you need it for? And the first time was she was filling out important paperwork for Alex. And I was like, what do you need it for? And she was like, it's confidential. It's private. I was like, well, so is my daughter's birth certificate.
Right.
I'm not giving you my daughter's birth certificate if I don't know what you're going to use it
Did
for.
she want to see if he was on it?
I think so. She told my daughter while she was there that my ex-husband was on it. She was looking to see if my ex-husband was on the birth certificate. That's exactly what she was doing.
Yeah.
And then the beginning of August, she was asking me for it again. And I was like, why do you need it? I'm thinking, is it for Social Security? Is she going to try to like claim my daughter as a dependent? I had no idea.
Yeah.
And so I finally figured it out because the second time I was told it was for insurance because he had a Cigna Global plan from where he'd travel overseas all the time. And now that he wasn't able to travel overseas anymore, it was going to stateside plan through Cigna.
Okay.
And I told him, I was like, you don't need a birth certificate. She's already a member. She's already dependent. She's already established.
Yeah.
So all you have to do is switch her, like I did medical billing and coding for years for orthopedic surgeons.
Yeah.
Like, I know the procedures,
Right.
And then it was, they were at the attorney's office writing up a will, and this was the beginning of August.
Okay.
And the attorney was needing it for the will. And I was like, you can put anyone on a will. I knew it was a lie again.
Right.
You can put anyone on a will. You don't.
Like, have the attorney call me.
That's what I told her. And then after that, about 30 minutes later, she was like, oh, it's okay. She was like, how did she say it? She said, hold on. I'll read it. Let's go to the archives. So she was like, don't worry about it. We left the office already. You clearly denied Allie's father her birth certificate and embarrassed him. Doesn't matter to me. I don't need it for anything. Congrats to you for denying your daughter financial security for the future. You can explain why to her should something happen. Bravo. Amazing and phenomenal mother. You award goes to you.
Goodness.
This is what this woman says. Yeah. Like, trash, straight
And they could have
garbage.
easily added her name with her date of birth.
Yeah. Yeah,
On
you don't need a
anything.
birth
Yeah.
certificate to put someone in a will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So after his hemorrhaging strokes and the day after the quit deed was signed to add her name to his property in Spring Hill.
I can't imagine that he was with it enough to even make those decisions,
Right.
though.
Yeah. Probably less than 24 hours after suffering multiple
Yeah.
hemorrhaging strokes,
Right.
his brain was bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
So the day after the quit deed, a will was proxied for him. Same attorney that works in the same office building as the hair salon that they're also, him and his wife, are clients of. Same notary that proxied his signatures and witnessed the quit deed and the durable power of
So
attorney.
he might not have even been present signing anything. They might have just signed it for him.
Right. I don't even know if it was even legal.
Right.
Right? So this will completely omitted our 13-year-old daughter, which he would never do.
Right.
Okay? Left no provisions for his son, his 22-year-old son, that was expecting his first daughter in January of that following year. And left her everything. Yeah. And then the day after that, he was discharged to hospice and no one was told.
Oh my goodness.
No one was told. We found out through digging after he passed away because he was in hospice, and then apparently he got out of hospice like a week and a half later maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And then he ended up passing away on October 11th. None of his family were told.
So that was this past October.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gosh, if you guys haven't challenged all that.
Yeah, we're in the process
I think
now.
you still could, but my goodness.
Yeah, we're in the process now.
Yeah.
So I definitely do not believe he wanted to get married at all. I don't think he knew everything that was in that DPOA.
No.
To be honest.
With all the stuff that he just went through, there's no way he was in his full right mind. Yeah,
exactly.
There's no way.
Exactly.
And if there were any medical professionals that witnessed any of this too, they should have even maybe intervened because
I agree.
If that was happening at bedside or something.
Yep,
because
I agree.
You have to be with it to sign things like that. Yep. And there's just no way. It's not even, I wouldn't even think that's possible.
Yeah. It shouldn't be legal. It should not be legal.
Yeah.
So we're in the process of fighting that now.
Need to look at his medical records during that time too.
Yeah.
See if he was on pain medication.
Yeah.
Anything like that.
Well, I know for a fact that he was on pain medications in September. Like I actually have a copy of the medical records from that week from where he was in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he was probably continuously on them if he was injured that bad, you know?
Yep. So he passed away October 11th. And then I didn't get a text until 2 days later. And she basically told me to tell Allie that Alex had a stroke and passed away. She would not, I was just like, no. Like, you know, I was kind of in denial. I was in shock.
Sure.
Like, I lost it, you know, because I loved that man unconditionally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even though we weren't together, I still cared about him, you know.
Yeah, you were together a long time.
Yeah. And so it was devastating, you know. And then
to have to watch your daughter.
To have to tell my daughter.
Yeah.
You know, like that was the worst part.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she was supposed to go visit him during Christmas last year.
Yeah.
You know, and he we would always go fishing with the kids and stuff. He loved to fish. He loved to kayak fish. And we used to go fishing all the time. He taught the kids everything they knew about fishing.
Yeah.
And like after he passed away, I'd sent messages to the wife, asking her, like, are there any funeral arrangements? What's happening? Is he being cremated?
Yeah.
Nothing. Ghost. She completely ghosted us. Everyone. She had no
Wow.
funeral, no obituary. We don't even know where his remains are right now. The only reason why we found out he was cremated was because we got a copy of his death certificate, and it says he was cremated. We don't know
Shame
where
on
his
her.
remains are. He wanted his remains spread at the Dry Tortugas
Did it
in Key
say on
West.
his death certificate that he was married to her?
Mm-hmm.
Did it have her full name?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, and when she filled out the death certificate, she didn't put his parents on it. She left his mom and dad off, and his mom had to go back and amend it.
God, his poor mom.
Yeah, and so one of the first things she did after he passed away was file the will. That's how we found out about the will, through the courts, and she would not. She completely ghosted everybody. Like, initially she was like, Allie, I'm so sorry. I'll always be here for you. This, that, and the other. And then Allie started asking her about whether or not her dad was cremated, and she wouldn't respond. And then Allie asked, he had 2 gold necklaces. One was an anchor and one had a fish hook on it.
Mm-hmm.
And Allie asked for the smaller one with the fish hook. And her response was, Alex left me specific instructions as to what to do with certain things. When you come down here, I can discuss that with you.
I'm gonna call bullshit on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Here's a big, big, huge sign for everyone to know. Get all your shit in order before something happens.
Yes.
Like with your wills.
It's detrimental.
Yes.
And like, send copies, because Alex had told, he has 3 brothers. Alex had told Brian that he was getting a will drawn up and stuff. This was like in August, I believe, around the time that they were supposedly going to get a will drawn up.
Mm-hmm.
And Denise was supposed to send a copy of the will to him. She never did. She never did.
I wonder if you guys could find out what attorney they went through.
Oh, I know exactly.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
To get the first initial will. So wait, was he was doing a will before the accident happened, or this is
was
still
after?
Okay, so he didn't have one beforehand.
Not that I know of. I think he did from when he was in the military going overseas.
Yeah.
And I do know that his life insurance policy, he had, when he went to this new job in 2022, he had sent his ex-wife, Jennifer, Gio's mom, a text message asking for Gio's social so that he could add him as a beneficiary to the life insurance. So we're wanting to know, like, I'm going to ask for discovery. I'm trying to save up the money right now because a lot of the attorneys that I've talked to so many attorneys, like hundreds of attorneys. Yeah. And they all want like $7,000 to $10,000 retainer just to start. Yeah. And this could go through litigation.
For sure.
And costs $50,000 to $70,000.
Does she have money?
If she fights.
That she could
whatever
fight?
She took from him. She had nothing before. She was living in her mom's house.
Right.
With her 2 daughters once she got divorced. Yeah. She's had nothing her entire life.
Do you think she changed
up until
the
now.
life insurance over to herself too?
That's what that's what I want to find out.
Oh my goodness.
I think everything was changed. The bank account, because I'm pretty 100% positive he would have never shared that information with her.
Yeah.
Are
they trying to deny you Social Security for her?
They were able to grant it. Oh, thank God. Yeah. Because so after he passed away, she filed the will, and then immediately after she filed the will through the court, she sent a letter to child support in Oahu to try to get my case closed. I have a letter stating, yeah, because in that will, she made it to where you couldn't put any liens on his estate. I swear, this is like textbook This was planned since March.
Yeah.
This was planned since March.
Was his house paid off?
No, he still has a mortgage on it. So he still owes money on the
Okay.
property. But he
But
had
she's living there.
Mhm. Yeah. So because of the quit deed. Because she married him and because of the quit deed. But I had sent formal
Again, it goes
requests.
back though. Was he in his right mind?
Right. I don't believe.
Yeah.
But she did it with her durable power of attorney. She took his property with the durable power of attorney the day after his strokes.
Yeah.
Which I don't think that durable power of attorney is even legal.
Should even been. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Right. So I'm in the process of trying to get the money up to fight this woman and take back what belongs to his children.
Right.
You know, this woman stole their legacy, you know, stole their goodbye, took everything.
Yeah.
You know?
So selfish.
Yeah. Greed is an evil entity that devours souls. And
it sure is.
some people are ate up with it.
Yeah.
And it's not worth it.
Right.
You know? Like, it's just like, why would you do that to a person that was supposed to be your love of your life?
Knowing you're doing that to their children.
Yeah. That's their children.
And his poor mom.
And
My goodness.
Yeah. And like she swore up and down that she loved Allie like her own and this, that, and the other. But then you can't even give his daughter a necklace.
It's really easy to say things.
You can't let her say goodbye.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Actions have definitely shown us otherwise.
Like you would think you'd want to give that to her.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Like if the roles were reversed and my husband's child asked me for something that belonged to him, it would be in the mail that day.
Right.
Without hesitation. But yeah, the vengeance is real.
Jealousy, all of it.
The vengeance is real. And it started, that was the whole premise of the relationship to begin with. Because she wanted to get back at her ex. And then she found out he made okay money and mooched off of him. So
she has all of his belongings, everything. Are you speaking to his mom more now? Like, are you guys kind of
We've talked. We haven't talked much. Life has definitely been lifing because Allie had some stuff go on back in February. And then my oldest daughter got attacked by her boyfriend and almost died in April. So, yeah. And then from all the stress and everything, I ended up with something called POTS. It's like a nervous system disorder.
Yeah.
That's definitely taken a
anxiety, trauma, stress. It will do that to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this past year's honestly been hell. Like, and just knowing that the kids didn't get to say goodbye.
Right.
His mom didn't get to say goodbye.
Yeah.
You know, and he died thinking nobody was there for him.
Yeah, like nobody cared anymore.
Yeah. Which is so sad. And I just don't understand how anyone could do something like that.
How do you live with yourself?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I've seen pictures here of recent where she's not even wearing her wedding ring.
Still living in his house.
Probably on the prowl for the next victim.
Yeah.
You know?
Gosh, it's terrible.
I just can't fathom.
How's your daughter doing now?
She's okay. I think she's still kind of in denial. Like, I think it's easier for her to put it out of her head like it never happened.
Well, she never even got to say goodbye or have any kind of closure.
She's not had any closure.
You didn't either.
Yeah, none of us did.
Gosh, it just sucks because attorney fees are no joke too, and just.
Yeah. And she knew this. I'm sure that attorney friend of hers told her, oh, it's going to cost tens of thousands of dollars.
To fight things, yeah.
And she's not opened probate. She's only filed the will. She's not opened probate. because if she doesn't open probate, we'll have to pay a bunch of money to open it. You know, like $10,000
Mm-hmm.
to open it. And yeah, she can just.
So you don't even know if is there life insurance, isn't there benefits,
There
all
was
the things.
definitely there was life insurance. We couldn't get any information because the beneficiary had been changed, you know, um, and they won't tell you anything,
Right.
you know, and so I've literally have to file a motion to get discovery.
Right.
Yeah,
Where they have to produce all of that
yeah,
stuff.
yep. And I
Which
want to
that's not cheap
know.
either.
It's not. And
Yeah.
I like honestly my biggest thing because I sent a formal request. So I looked at this will front and back, durable power of attorney front and back. I've studied so much Florida state law for like
Mm-hmm.
probate law. I could probably like I could probably become a paralegal for the state of
Yeah.
Florida right
I can
now.
imagine. Yeah.
But um, in order for us to do it, since his estate is over $75,000,
Mm-hmm.
we have to go through an attorney. And I'm pretty sure that her attorney knew that and helped her through
Mm-hmm.
everything. Just the
Right.
way everything's worded, even up
But they can go
to the
back and
durable power of
investigate,
attorney. Yeah,
how it all happened, the notary person, like, did they really
yeah,
do all their due diligence like they were supposed to?
right.
Which it
My
sounds
biggest
like
question
no.
is, was the attorney even at the hospital that day that all
Exactly.
these documents were signed and witnessed?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
like I want to see the visitation list. I want to see the cameras.
Right.
Where were these
And I
attorneys?
definitely want to see his medical records and what did the nursing notes
Yeah,
say? What did the physician notes say? What state of mind he was in or like how he was functioning.
yeah,
All that matters.
yeah. In the notes in September, it says that he was having mental altered mentation, and I guess his wife had said that he had been confused and like aggravated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right there.
yeah. So
Even if he's just confused.
how did 6 days later, how did he end up from a confused state with headaches and altered mentation to allowing a name to be added to his property and then a will that completely omitted his 13-year-old daughter and
Yeah.
no provisions for his son
Mm-hmm.
when he like his whole entire world were his children.
Mm-hmm. Shame on her.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Mm.
Karma. Karma
Yeah.
is real.
Yeah. But you know what? You guys will never get that back. That time.
Yeah. I'm wanting to do like a motorcycle ride. Um, I actually a friend of mine he has a charity organization. Um, it's called Flag to Remember, and so he basically any service members or um, like fire department,
Mm-hmm.
ambulance, like EMS, any first responders he that have passed away, he puts their name on a flag, and he has them like put up in different areas all over the U.S. Yeah,
Oh, I
and
love
he's trying to
that.
take it global, just in remembrance
Yeah.
of the fallen and like people that have passed.
That would be great if your daughter could participate in seeing that.
Yeah. So since we lived in Fort Bragg, I was able to actually put Alex's name on the one that is in Fort Bragg
Oh,
in
nice.
Fayetteville, North Carolina. So, and I'm hoping to get one in New York, where Alex is from, and in Hawaii
Mm-hmm.
on Oahu,
Yeah.
because that was one of his first stations
Right.
in the military. Yeah. So, don't know.
So
We'll
he didn't even get
see.
a military funeral. He did. There's just.
Nothing. Nothing. And I found out later that she had made prayer cards at the funeral home, you know?
Yeah.
I found out through a lady that reached out to me on my Justice for Alex and His Children page on Facebook that I have, because I started reading, like I saw some of the posts that she had written, and it was so ugly and so disrespectful to his family, you know, and all about her and the love that they shared, how they were so in love. She didn't speak one thing about his kids other than bashing them for abandoning their, yeah.
Wow. You're going to bash a 12-year-old.
Yeah, and yeah, and a 22-year-old kid
Yeah.
that
But I
just
mean,
lost their
she,
father,
yeah, like, oh my
and make it
goodness.
out like nobody was there for him,
Yeah.
which she weaved that web, you
She
know?
just continued it. Yeah.
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 She pushed everybody away,
Wow.
isolated, so that she could take control over everything and get vengeance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she hated me because I saw right through her stuff, you know,
Probably scared
as
her.
soon as she started acting like she did towards me in February, like I already knew. And then when I found out she married him, we already knew, you
Yeah.
know. And then later on down the road, like all these things, asking me for the birth certificate, like paternity testing, all this stuff, trying to close my
And you have
paternity
all that in
case.
text
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
right?
I
Yeah.
have all the receipts.
Yeah.
I have all the receipts.
Good.
Like some of the stuff she's written. Well, I wasn't very nice either after a while.
Yeah.
Like
I
I
can't
tried to
say
be
that I would be
reasonable and I
either.
tried to like make things right.
Yeah.
Like she ended up, so she found out that he had texted me back in 2021 and told me that he loved and missed me and called me beautiful.
Hmm.
And that was one of the reasons why she was upset at me, because I had sent fishing pictures that had popped up on my memories like about a week or two after he had sent that text, you
Right.
know. And I tried to explain that to her, and she was like, "I don't believe you. He didn't text you that. I don't believe you." And I was like, "He did, but that's all the past, you
Right.
know.
Right.
Y'all are married now. I'm married now. Like none of that matters, you
Right.
know. Just
Right.
let it go. Why bring up old stuff? I'm just telling you why these events occurred.
Just trying to
You know,
justify her
yeah.
behavior. Yeah. She
And
was.
so, yeah, then she wouldn't let me talk to him most of the time. It was always, I had need to go through her. I need to go through her. I need to text her. Yeah, everything was through her. And, and so I ended up like talking to Alex. She wouldn't let me talk to him about anything that was going on with Aliana at the time. But she made him call me to confront me and say that he didn't send me that text message. Yeah.
So she was able to kind of brainwash him a little bit too then, because I mean he obviously knew
Definitely.
he sent it.
He was vulnerable.
Yeah.
He was vulnerable and he did whatever he had to do to keep her there.
Right.
He knew he was never going to get anybody else,
Right.
you know?
And he was being told that his family really didn't care
Yeah.
by
And
her.
made to
So yeah.
believe that his family abandoned him. Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
When we were here asking, "Hey, how's Alex? What's going on?" You know, and she wouldn't let us know. She told us that he didn't want us to know. Just like he didn't want me in that room,
Mm-hmm.
right? It
Yeah.
wasn't him. It
Mm-mm.
was her. And if
Yeah.
he did say yes, it was probably because she didn't want me there.
Of
So he
course.
was doing and saying whatever to keep her around because
Right.
he knew that was it for him.
Right.
You know, he wasn't going to get anybody else.
Right. Sad.
He needed her. And she was right
And she
there.
ran with it.
And she ran with it. Ran with everything.
Well, thank you for sharing this, though. I
Yeah,
think that this is like eye-opening for people
it is.
and
Like,
what other people are capable of.
yeah.
And you see it a lot in times of tragedy and loss
And it's
and
it's
grief when people like think of money
it's
and
so horrible because
mm,
it's like, at what point do you sacrifice your soul for greed and vengeance and manipulation. Like, it's not worth it.
Mm-mm.
I would rather be struggling, broke,
Right.
homeless
Right.
than put this kind of hurt and pain on anyone's
Mm-hmm.
child or
Right.
their parent, you
Right.
know? Like,
She's very selfish. That's why.
yeah, for sure.
Well, I hope something good comes out of it for you guys. Like, I hope you kick her ass in court, no
Yeah.
matter how long it takes.
That's what I'm hoping for.
You're gonna have to come back and tell us about it.
Yes, for sure. Part 2.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and hopefully there's something positive for you guys. 'Cause that's horrible.
I have a friend. She started a charity called the Novel Advocate, and she's helped a lot, even with the stuff that went on with my oldest daughter, Malia. And then, like, she's really been there for me, and I'm so super appreciative. She's actually like studying law right now and is helping people that have been mistreated or trafficked or anything like that. She's or abused, things like that.
Okay.
She gave my daughter so much information regarding Virginia laws and things like that,
Really?
so that my daughter, when she went to court, she would know, what her rights were and
Yeah.
what to ask and things like that. Like, she really helped a lot. So
That's
it's
awesome.
so crazy because I met her in Destin back in 2010, 2011.
Mm-hmm.
But during this time, we kind of crossed paths again, and we're both on this journey that we are survivors and we're trying to help others through our pain.
Right.
Like, at least we'll have some sort of purpose
Mm-hmm.
to advocate for others and
Right.
try to stop what's been going on,
Yeah.
because it's not right,
Yeah. Even if you can help one person not go through what you guys have been through.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sad.
It's definitely unfortunate because we'll never get that time back,
Right.
like,
Right. Or the closure. That's just, oh
yeah, that's
gosh.
the worst part. That's
Well,
the worst part.
yeah. Well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, yes, of course. And we can even put the links for your friend's foundation.
Okay.
We can put that in the description
Yeah, that would be
of your
awesome.
episode too.
Okay.
Okay.